This segment of the news is brought to you by Smitty's Cards and Coins. Would you like to know what your collectibles are worth? Come by 2281 Postal Road, Unit 4, across from the post office.
In this week's court report, a local defendant who has previously had several open cases in court simultaneously and who's also been charged with being a habitual criminal has now been sentenced. On Monday, the district court sentenced Joseph Tarragano in his robbery case to 72 to 180 days in jail with all standard fines and fees, no credit for time served. And in Tarragano's unlawful taking of a vehicle case, he was sentenced to 364 days with standard fines and fees, but with credit for time served of 34 days, and the court will run the cases concurrent. Tarragano was arrested after police were tipped off, then later located a key on the suspect that had been shaven to steal a car. Police also found the stolen vehicle driven by Tarragano on Ferndale Street. Jason Gall was also scheduled in district court Monday, but a bench warrant was issued for him because he was a no-show for his scheduled calendar call. Gall is accused in the alleged rape of his ex-girlfriend Antoinette Bell's sister Priscilla, who is now Gall's wife. The defendant is facing charges of statutory sexual seduction, incest, child abuse and neglect, lewdness with a child under 14, unlawful use of minor in production of porn, and promotion of sexual performance of a minor. Notably, Gall also previously filed a formal complaint against Nye County accusing current and former NCSO law enforcement officials of alleged outrageous and malicious conduct regarding his seized laptop and pornographic videos found on it. For Monday's calendar call, Gall's attorney, Jonathan Nelson, was present for the defendant and requested to trail the matter because Gall was not present. Then parties declared ready for trial, and the court issued a bench warrant, but said it will quash the warrant if the defendant shows up. Gall has trial dates set for May 30th through June 2nd for his case in district court after pleading not guilty, invoking his right to a speedy trial during arraignment. An arraignment hearing in district court is now set for the Pahrump young man taken into custody after police were contacted by his mother and stepfather, who say that defendant grabbed and used a knife to cut and injure them. Aaron Kozad's case was recently bound over to the higher court, and he's now scheduled for an arraignment May 5th. At the district court level, the defendant will enter a no contest plea to assault with a deadly weapon encompassing both victims. The state has agreed to recommended probation, and if the defendant completes probation successfully without any violations, that violation could be reduced to a misdemeanor. Additionally, after his plea's been accepted by the court, the state won't oppose an OR release if the defendant has a plan in place to continue counseling. Requesting a written statement from the defendant's parents is also required to indicate they are okay with the defendant returning home. This has been your court report. I'm Eunette Gentry for News 46.
Thanks, Eunette. Well, on Saturday, April 22nd, the Nye County Sheriff's Office received a report that a party of 4 adults had left for a campout towards Wheeler Pass and had not returned as planned. The reporting party stated that Kawanza Najaka and as many as 3 others had taken a white Honda SUV with California plates towards Wheeler Pass in the early evening hours Friday night, April 21st. Najaka had not returned home to take custody of his child and drive his girlfriend to work later that evening. The sheriff's office was contacted approximately 14 hours after the party had left, and Sheriff Sharon Worley authorized a search and rescue response. The Nye County Sheriff's Office search and rescue team, along with on-duty deputies, responded after tactical planning was completed and 4-wheelers prepared. Additional information was obtained that Najaka had actually traveled to Carpenter Canyon. Cell phone contact was finally made with Najaka and his family, and he was met at the BLM fire station at Carpenter Canyon. Kawanza reported that he chose to stay the night rather than risk crossing some water. Everyone returned home in good health.
A federal judge has blocked an order that the Trump administration attempted to put in place that would limit funding to communities that don't fully cooperate with U.S. immigration laws. The temporary ruling will remain in place until the matter is settled in court regarding the executive order focusing on what many call sanctuary cities.
And let's join Angela Miles with your Business First Brief.
Topping our news, Wall Street and Washington. President Trump has signed an executive order calling for a review and potential elimination of rules under Dodd-Frank that rein in bad behavior on Wall Street. Those rules were put into place following the financial crisis. The president wants deregulation and says loosening rules will begin a whole new way of life for the country. On Wednesday, the president promises to unveil a massive tax cut plan. It's expected the plan will give leeway to companies that shelter money overseas and reduce the time it takes to complete personal and business tax filings. United officials are prepping to testify on Capitol Hill this week regarding that episode of a passenger being dragged off a jet to make room for a United employee. Last week, it was disclosed in a filing that United Continental CEO Oscar Munoz is no longer in line to become chairman of the company as planned. United shares traded last below $71.
All right, stay tuned to News 46. We'll tell you how you can whip yourself into shape for spring and summer and whip your computer into shape. All that next.